Welcome back, Scot Ferrell. Thank you so much for being part of my day. Yes, if you're just tuning in, you're just not hearing my voice. You actually get video of me. If you're used to me being on the radio, that's great. We've got radio and TV, so you can be part of the scene. Interesting guest with me today. I'm going to have him the whole hour because I wanted to cover so much material. So many times on radio, we will have you on for 5 to 6 to 8 minutes, but we never really get into any of the details. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to maximize my guest being here today. My guest, as you can tell, seems very accomplished, but he really is. It's Roger Blankenship. Roger, you're the CEO of Whitestone Investments.
Right.
But the great thing is, you weren't always the CEO. And the story behind is what I really want to discuss today. Now, Roger's going to be here. We're going to talk about Roger's life. We're going to talk about Roger being with Walk Through the Bible, one of the organizations I love, and the fact that you are CEO of Whitestone Investments. But I got a great thing at the end of the show. Yes, mailbag's important. Go buy questions at scotferrell.com if you've got a question for us. I got a little surprise for Roger today, though. Roger is what I would say is a theologian. Roger knows many answers to the Bible. So I'm gonna put Roger to the test.
We're going to have a quiz?
We are gonna have a quiz, but the quiz is coming from 8-year-olds.
That makes it harder.
I recently did a video series with one of my pastor friends, Pastor Alan DiDio in Charlotte, and we took questions from kids because we always say kids say the darndest things. Well, they do, but it's wow, okay. And so I'm not going to let you have any of the questions, and I'm going to throw the questions out to you. Last segment, we're going to save that for the mailbag. But I'm going to give them to you. I want the theological answer, and then I'll handle the behavioral issue, okay?
Sure.
Fair enough. Okay. Roger, as we come out of the gate, remember you can go by my website, scotferrell.com, SCOTFERRELL.com, or if you want to text in, it's 706-889-9700. Roger, before we even get started, how can people reach you if necessary? Website, how do you like it the most?
Well, our website is whitestone.investments.
Okay.
Just .investments, no .com. It's whitestone.investments. We also have a Facebook page. Go to Facebook and just look up Whitestone Investments and you'll find us there. And I'm Roger at whitestone.investments.
Okay, before I get into the past, I do want to cover Whitestone real fast. You, last time we looked, you've flipped how many houses?
Just under 800.
So just under 800 houses. And we see the commercials all the time. And it's funny, I stayed up last night looking over my notes for the show, and I saw one more. And it's I think there's 5 guys that I've seen their commercials. What sets you apart from those guys?
I actually do it.
Now, let me get this straight. You're meaning to tell me that those infomercials are just informational dialogue that may not necessarily be true?
Well, let me put it this way. I was talking with one of the gurus, and I'm not going to name him here.
Right,
okay?
yeah, no
All
names.
right. But he told me, he just put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, look, I made hundreds of thousands of dollars in the houses that I flipped. I make millions of dollars teaching other people how to do it. And so, the truth is, if you're out speaking somewhere every weekend and you're prepping for that and you're doing the marketing for
Right.
that, you don't really have time to flip a lot of houses. And I have wanted to teach other people how to do it, but before I start teaching, I really wanted to know.
Right.
And I thought I needed a few hundred repetitions before I did that.
And now that you're this successful in this, now I want to go back because, like I always say, behavior displayed is behavior that's been programmed into you. You didn't always do real estate. You weren't always this person. Let's go back to the childhood where you were an athlete. What sports did you play?
Mainly basketball and football.
And you're from what state?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. I'm a Duke fan. I always have to throw that in.
Sorry about that.
For Roger. Yes, they have more championships, but not lately. Yeah, the reason I'm a Duke fan, Coach K did something for me, and I was going to grad school at Duke, so we do have a connection. But you're from Kentucky. You're an athlete. You're probably a pretty good athlete, and now you've had a son go on and play sports also. What was it like growing in Kentucky and playing basketball? Especially, you and I are in our 50s. That's in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Well, if any of the viewers have ever seen the movie Hoosiers, I remember taking my wife to see that when it first came out. And you see rabid basketball fans who are crazy about high school basketball. Little sweat box gyms, really, some of them not much bigger than this room. And the end line of the court was less than 12 inches away from the wall because they barely had enough room. And the heat worked really well in the wintertime, so it was really hot and it was packed, and the entire town would come out, and this meant everything. It's like football in Georgia, really.
Yeah.
But it's high school basketball in Kentucky. It's just a bizarre, crazy environment, and people are rabid about the high school athletes. And it's a fun environment to play. Even when you're on the visiting team and you're getting killed by the home team, it's still fun. It's a lot of good memories.
Yeah, it's funny because when you were in high school, a guy named Joe B. Hall was at Kentucky.
Yeah.
He brought home a national championship. I do remember that because I remember the team they beat to win that national championship. But let's fast forward. I've been a coach here in Georgia and Atlanta area. It's funny because I had two high schools that I coached against that I swear Rick Pitino and every single, and Tubby Smith used to be at every game. I played one high school here. They had 3 Kentucky signees.
Yeah.
And they pounded us. So you went on to play college ball, correct?
Right.
Now, where'd you end up going?
I ended up at Baptist University of America, right in Atlanta, Georgia. That's what brought me to the Atlanta area.
Now, what was that like?
Well, you know, the truth is, I was a better football player than basketball. And everyone that saw me play knew that.
Right.
But I'm from Kentucky. So I wanted to play. I wanted to play basketball. I wanted to play basketball so bad. And Kentucky football is something that we did just to pass the time until basketball season started. And but I just really wasn't. You couldn't have told me this then. Although people did try to tell me, I just wasn't good enough to play Division I basketball. I was afflicted with a serious case of white man's disease.
Got that vertical?
Yeah. You could get a piece of paper in it, but not much more.
Your vertical was higher if you just fell down?
If I bounced off the floor. No, you know, hey, wait a minute now. I did have one goaltending call in high school. I did. I had one goaltending call.
Did y'all lower the rims? Or
No, man. It was an exception to the rule. But anyway, so some colleges were after me to come play football for them, but life brought me to Baptist University of America, and it was a small school, no scholarships.
Right.
I was able to play basketball and football for them. We weren't very good, but you know, I had other priorities in my life at this time. I still hated losing, and I guess I've always been a little bit of a poor sport about that, but I enjoyed so much the time. We had this old bus that I'm surprised it made it anywhere, but we drove all over the Southeast to play football. And the time on that bus, we hated at the time, but I look back at those times as precious memories. And the teammates that we had in both sports, really, we just had a blast. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I'm so glad that I played.
Now, if you're wondering why I'm asking Roger all this, he just didn't wake up one day and become the CEO of Whitestone Investments. It's a layering of many, many years of behaviors, of success. Here's the great thing and what I liked about Roger was he was an athlete. And you and I played the same sports. And I ended up coaching the other sport in the high school level. There takes so much discipline, it takes so much hard work. And you talked about the bus ride. It's funny, we look back at those bus rides. And if you've ever seen the movie Major League, okay, the buses we were on were worse. And we didn't have the story of Hiawatha to read while we're riding. And we definitely didn't have Wesley Snipes to entertain us. And you go down the road and you just hope that all the tires will stay on the bus because it's vibrating so much it feels like your feelings are going to come out. And then you got your coach yelling at you, and then you got the bus driver. I don't know what it is about the bus drivers of that time.
Hey man, our school was so small, the coach was the bus driver.
I actually had to get a license in North Carolina when I was the bus driver. The great thing is, it taught us a lot. So many times we learned so much off the field or off the court during the travel time with the guys staying in the hotels and the camaraderie, which we're going to talk about when we get back. My guest is Roger Blankenship. He is the CEO and founder of Whitestone Investments. Roger, when we get back, I want to segue from college and sports.
Sure.
And I want to segue into your dedication to Christ and what you did with Walk Through the Bible. You were a pastor. And then we're going to get into how folks, if they've ever had a real estate dream, coupling with you could actually be the answer. I'm Scot Ferrell. Go by my website, ScotFerrell.com, or head on by Facebook and give us a like. If you want to get on the action, 706-889-9700. I'll see you in a few.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Switch and save at Schottenkirk Ford. Find quality pre-owned trucks under $20,000 and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. Shop the best selection of certified pre-owned Fords in the area. Switch today and shop our network of over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll even deliver it to you. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with Schottenkirk Customer Care, which offers you extra protection for no extra charge. Make the switch to Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like Meat Lovers, Backyard Barbecue Chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Welcome back to Scot Ferrell Show. Thank you so much. And my guest is Roger Blankenship. He's the founder and CEO of Whitestone Investments. Roger, we got a question in earlier. Let me go ahead and get your questions in. Questions at ScotFerrell.com or throw us a text at 706-889-9700. And it was great because it segues in with what I wanted to talk about too. Someone asked, how in the world did Roger go from being this kid in Kentucky, playing basketball and football, coming to Georgia, playing again, to let's make the progression. Now let's make the progress from there to walk through the Bible and be an ordained pastor. How in the world, one of the coolest organizations in the world, how did you get involved with that organization?
Was Walk Through the Bible?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's funny how things happen, actually. My wife was not, you know, she didn't go to Bible college.
Right.
And so since I was in the ministry, I wanted her to kind of catch up with some knowledge things. And so I took her to a Walk Through the New Testament seminar. And I didn't know this at the time, but the founder of Walk Through the Bible, Bruce Wilkinson, that was the last one that he ever taught. And we got to hear the man himself, you know, teach. And I sat there and my jaw dropped open, and I learned more that day than I learned in my years in Bible college. And it was amazing how they put it all together. Well, I was teaching a Bible program in public schools in LJ, Georgia at the time, and I desperately wanted this material for my students. And so I wrote Walk Through the Bible and bugged them and called them and kept on bugging them and saying, please figure out a way to get this material. Let's make a curriculum out of it or something so my students can have this. And finally I got a call from Bruce Wilkinson's father named Jim Wilkinson. And he came up to LJ and he sat down with me, and after a while he said, I want to invite you to apply to become a part of the Walk Through the Bible faculty, which to me was the greatest honor of my life. And so I went down for the training, and I sat in a room with about 30 other men from all over North America. And at that time there were 73 instructors in North America, and I got to be one of them. And these were some of the most talented, some of the funniest, most interesting, knowledgeable public speakers. A lot of them could have been stand-up comedians. It was amazing, amazing to be a part of that. And one of the great honors and privilege of my life is for the next 25 years, I taught Walk Through the Bible seminars as I lived in the South, and then when I moved to Mid-Atlantic, to the Philadelphia area, and then they had me going up into New York State. Ultimately, Walk Through the Bible sent me to Korea several times and to Russia to teach Russian public school teachers basic Bible stories. What a thrill. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So you logged a few 100,000 miles at least.
Yeah.
The great thing was you did your, and we have a connection with Bruce. Bruce is the reason I got married.
I remember that.
Yeah. My mentor is Bob Shank. Bob's on the board for Samaritan's Purse, and he helped found it, I think. And Bob traveled with Billy for years, and now he travels with Franklin Graham. It just so happens, Bob said, if you ever run into Bruce, tell him I said hello. So Bruce was doing a seminar series, so I followed Bruce everywhere. And I bugged him and bugged him and bugged him and bugged him. And at the time, my relationship with my fiance wasn't that great. And Bruce sat me down and gave me one of those talking tos, from the older Christian to the younger Christian. And he told me I had to marry my wife. So therefore, I'm married now.
That was a good call.
It was, you know,
way to go, Bruce.
Good call. But you go from Walk Through the Bible, and you end up being a pastor of your own church, right? You're in the Atlanta area.
Right.
How many years were you a pastor?
Well, the answer to that is 7 years, but there was a little gap in between there.
Right.
You know, I mentioned I was teaching the Bible in public schools, and I spent about 15 years traveling the country helping other communities start programs like the Christian Learning Center in LJ. And I did that before I wound up back in Atlanta, and was there for 7 years pastoring a church in Stockbridge.
And Stockbridge is probably one of the most up-and-coming parts of the Atlanta area now. If you don't believe that, right over there about 4:30 in the afternoon on Friday.
No, any day of the week now,
Oh
man.
my gosh. But so now I want to segue here, because the question was from the listener was, all right, you go from high school athlete, you go to college, you go into the ministry, and now let's slide this over to Whitestone. Your story is so funny of how you got started in the real estate business. Can you give me that story? As far as
Sure.
Your dad was part of this story.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to put that part in about working with the national organization and so forth, because that was really a startup. And, you know, the Christian Learning Center in LJ, I was the first executive director. It was a startup. When I went to the National Association, they'd had an association for a while, but they'd never had a staff member. So it was another startup. And we finally, got that thing rolling. But, I like to say life is what happens when you're making other plans.
Right.
And it was just time, for the sake of my wife and my family and our marriage, for me to take a steady paying job.
Right.
And I sat down when I was 40 years old and realized I don't have anything. Right. We never had a 401k, or in the nonprofit world, a 403b. We don't have anything. And, those things didn't really matter to me. But now, who knows what the future's going to hold, and maybe I want to retire someday. So I thought about buying some rental houses, and because the first house I ever owned, all I did was paint it, and I sold it a couple years later when I moved on to a different position and walked away with money in my pocket. And I thought that was pretty cool. I'd never forgotten that. So I had lunch with a friend of mine. Yeah, I had lunch with a friend of mine who was a member of my congregation, and he said he had just been to this seminar.
Seminar.
And, he wanted to, flip houses, and so I got him to give me the gist of the seminar over one lunch, and we decided we would do a project together. And he told me about hard money loans and 5 points, 15%. I thought that sounded ridiculous. So I called my dad up and said, "Hey, Dad, I got a business proposal for you." He said, "What?" I said, "I need to borrow $25,000 for 6 months. I'll pay you 12% interest." He said, "Let me think about that." Done. "What are you doing?"
12%.
And so I told him, and he said, "I've just endured the stock market bubble crash, and a lot of the money that I'm living on and it is gone, and I'm worried about what will happen in the future of the stock market. I don't really understand it, not sure I like it, but I like real estate, so let's make a plan." Long story short, Dad ended up bringing some money to the courthouse auction in Henry County. Our first one was May of 2002. And we bought a couple of houses, and a few months later, we had a nice little profit. My dad went home, told his friends down there in South Florida, and then his friends start calling me and say, "Hey, I've got money." And it was a real simple, it wasn't a very sophisticated business plan at all. They put up the money, I did the work, we split the profit. There you go.
I could see his dad going, "Hey man, Roger's bringing us mad stacks of bennies." We gotta do
You obviously have not met my dad.
I'm sorry, that would probably be me that would say that.
Yeah, but his friends started calling me up and say, "I've got $100,000. Could you buy a house for me?" Another one, "I've got $500,000 that's kind of sitting there." Next thing you know, I've got over $1 million and a full-time job. And so that's really how we got started. And it came time for me to leave the church, and I really believed that I was following the leading of the Lord to go into real estate full time in 2006, right before the market crashed nationwide. And so there's a theological question about God's leading right there. How do you know?
Right. I'm going to have Roger start a house flipping company in one of the worst recessions in the history of the country.
No, right before the recession began.
Right before it starts.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to get on the action, it's questions@scotferrell.com. That's SCOTFERRELL.com. Or send us a text. That's 706-889-9700. Now, the story's hilarious because I can just picture all these guys calling you and going, hey, Roger, I'm a buddy of your dad's. I got $1 million sitting around. Can you make me two? And the great thing is it's a very successful story, which we're really going to talk about in the next segment, is you took that humble beginning, what was it, 3-4 houses the first time, and you not only turned it into an extremely profitable business, you also turned it into a lifetime relationship with someone that might be your wife. You got to hear the story. Their story of how they met is one of the funniest that I've ever heard. Or am I wrong on this?
No, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Now, as we get ready to go to break, we've just got a few more minutes. How can people get in touch with you again?
Well, they can email me, roger@whitestone.investments. Don't put a .com at the end of it. It won't go. There really is a .investments domain name now. And just email me there, roger@whitestone.investments. Or look me up on Facebook.
And if you forget all of that, the easiest way to do this is either questions@scotferrell.com or head on by my website, scotferrell.com. Let me spell it again. It's always a trouble. SCOTFERRELL.com. Coming up, we're going to go over how Whitestones can help you. So if you've ever had that desire to watch that real estate commercial at 3 a.m. while you've got the Haagen-Dazs in your face, or the Pop-Tarts, or, oh, I'm sorry, that's me and Roger that do that. Then stick around, because Roger's going to let you know why real estate's still a dynamite investment, why you can still make tons of bennies doing that, and how you can set up your financial future. I'm Scot Ferrell, Roger Blankenship. We'll be right back.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Switch and save at Shattenkirk Ford. Find quality pre-owned trucks under $20,000, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. Shop the best selection of certified pre-owned Fords in the area. Switch today and shop our network of over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll even deliver it to you. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with Shattenkirk Customer Care, which offers you extra protection for no extra charge. Make the switch to Shattenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at ShattenkirkFordJasper.com.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Welcome back to Scot Ferrell Show. I've got my guest here, Roger Blankenship. Remember, if you want to get in on the action, you want to be part of this, send us your questions at scotferrell.com, or you can send us a text, 706-889-9700. If it's a question that's not associated with this and you need my help, go by my website, scotferrell.com. All right, Roger, something you said previously, we're going to come back to now, because now I want to talk about Whitestone Investments. But it's the call of God, and we both know, and we've gotten that call. We're both ordained. It doesn't always come at what we would perceive, because we can't see all the dimensions of time. Your call to go into real estate was right before one of the biggest recessions to ever hit this country. But we both know that God's timing doesn't always match ours, and does it not always look like it makes sense?
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Yeah, I did. Sometimes the call of God and the leading of God takes you right in the path of great difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some success in, just working real estate as a hobby, part-time. I actually gave my days off, got off the golf course and painted houses or whatever for a few years, and we'd done very well. And of course, I thought that we were going to do very well. And for the first couple of years, the opposite happened. The bottom fell out. We had some properties we couldn't sell.
Right.
Fortunately, we didn't lose money on any of them, but we had a lot of break-evens. And when you're breaking even, you're not making income.
Yeah.
And I was relying on this for my income. So it created some difficulties, to be sure. But going through difficulties always, it's a cliche, but it's true. It does make you stronger. You learn, you grow.
That's why I was talking about, and I know Roger's story. I'm cheating. I know Roger's story. But it's those bus rides. It's those practices in the summer. If you've ever played football, you'll never forget July 1st. And back when we were kids, it was July 1st. 2-a-days. I'm from North Carolina, you're from Kentucky. It's 100 degrees out there. But we're also from rural communities, so I also had a dad at 5:30 in the morning, and I got that sweet, son, get up. No, it wasn't like that at all. And you're in the field at 6 a.m. So now we fast forward to the real estate part crumbling. You sit and go, I faced harder. I mean, you really had, because you've got kids. You've been through a divorce in this time. Your Southern Baptist's been through a divorce. Okay, well, that gives whole new meaning there. All right, so we've gone through that. And now you're doing the properties and it's looking good. Now I want to lead up to your best investment ever. And she's here with us in studio today. The story of how the two of you guys met is as funny as how you got started in the real estate business.
Yeah, well, I don't know how funny it is. It is a little bit of sweet irony, really. I spent most of my time buying houses at the courthouse auction. And once that divorce did happen, I was engaging in a scientific search for the next Mrs. Right. And man, I was on those dating websites and the people that work with me, because I really like to analyze things in spreadsheets and get it all down. They really thought that I had created a spreadsheet with a series of weighted factors and had written an algorithm to kind of identify the perfect woman. And when they were teasing me about that, I thought, that's really a good idea. And I could have done that, and I was even pondering maybe doing that. But one day I noticed at the courthouse auction, there was actually a really pretty lady over there crying foreclosures. And so I'd never seen her before and hadn't noticed her, and she was kind of quiet about it. There's no rule that states that the person crying foreclosure has to stand up and announce themselves loudly, and she definitely went out of her way not to do that. And so, long story short, I finally got up enough nerve to talk to her. She's way prettier than me, and so I was intimidated by that. But my excuse for talking to her was to find out what law firm she represented and to see if there's any way I could find out what the bids were going to be, maybe even the day before, to give us a little bit of an edge on, and she was always proper about all of those things, but at least it, cracked open the door for conversation. And in time, I got up enough nerve to ask her out, and well, the rest is history.
And you guys have been together how long now?
Well, what's today?
July 11.
Yeah. So we've been married for 2 years, 7 months, and 10 days, and about
Not that he's
2
counting.
hours.
And it's good that he knows that and he's counting that.
Yeah.
And she, I can say, and since I know her, the best investment you ever had. No, but you two are a team. You operate as a team in the investment, and That's such an important part of this.
Yeah, when I teach people how to buy foreclosures at the foreclosure auction, I like to say the best thing I ever got at the foreclosure auction is this lady. Yeah.
Do you say that when she's not there too?
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah. I say that all the time.
Just got to make sure that's in the curriculum.
I also say it's the best thing to happen to me since Jesus. Yes.
I feel the same way. So.
Oh, you know her that well?
I do. Yeah. I feel that way about my wife. With what you do, and I've been to one of Roger's seminars. Now, if you've got a question for Roger, it's questions@scotferrell.com or hit us up on text 706-889-9700. Roger, you do seminars, and I've been to one of your seminars, and if you've ever thought about investing in real estate, yes, Roger's living proof that it works. You just got to have a formula for how you do it. Now, there are countless guys on the web right now and on TV saying, I've got the answer. No, don't look at this guy over here. I've got the answer. Well, I can only say the guy sitting beside me's got the answer. I was really impressed. What was that, a 3-4 hour seminar that we did that day? And I do real estate investing. And I was like, best seminar I've ever seen. Now,
wow.
What do you do for students? Let's say I want you to teach me. How can I get you to teach me if someone's out there and they want to know?
Well, just write me an email and ask me when our next class is going to be. And I'll be glad to let you know.
What's that email again?
Yeah, it's roger@whitestone.investments.
Okay.
And you know, our company is Whitestone Investments, and so we like the name Whitestone. So our school is called the Whitestone Real Estate Investors Institute. There are a lot of people out there training real estate. Some of them are good, some of them are criminal. And even the good ones I've seen probably end up charging you a lot more than you need to pay to find out what you need to know. I'm just being honest there.
Now, your seminars, are they based in the Atlanta area?
Right now, yes.
Okay, so imagine if you've ever wanted to have a weekend in Atlanta, come down and see Roger. You can see the Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons, whatever season it is. But come and work with Roger. Roger, as we go to break, we took a couple more minutes in the segment. What's the number one factor in success in real estate investment?
Number one factor.
Number one factor.
Buy it right.
Okay.
You have to buy it right.
Like stock, everything else, you got to buy it at the right price.
Yes.
Now, the vehicles to buy it are auction. What are some of the other vehicles and how you can buy the properties?
Well, you can buy properties that have been foreclosed on, buy them from the bank. And there are ways that you can also go to individual sellers who may be in some kind of distress. But the key to making money in residential real estate is to buy properties where you can add value some way.
Right.
Updating, remodeling, maybe rebuilding or adding rooms, or it depends on the area in the house. But you have to buy something where you can add value. You can't go just buy something off the multiple listing service at $20,000 less than the list price and hope that you're going to make a profit. In fact, you'll lose money if you do that.
Right. Any commercial, or are you just doing residential currently?
Well, we only teach residential.
Okay.
We're dabbling in commercial. We're learning that game.
In the years you've been doing this, have you enjoyed it?
How?
Have you enjoyed it?
Have I enjoyed it? Yeah, I have enjoyed it. Actually, some days it seems like, oh boy, this again. But just about the time I think that I've seen it all, something will happen that I've not seen before.
Right. I can't imagine, and even with the small investment, I've never done anything to you. It's a roller coaster ride in some ways. Now, what was the total houses you flipped again?
Just under 800.
Okay, just under 800. That's all, just under 800. A lot of these guys that I see on these shows haven't flipped close to what you've done. They've just been able to bottle something and then get it on TV. The great thing about Roger's course is you get Roger, so he's sitting in front of you, and he works everything out on the board for you. And what I like about Roger's course is if you really want to invest in real estate and you want the right answer, you want to do it right the first time, and you don't want to go through that $300,000 learning curve that so many investors do. Well, you sit down with Roger for a day or two. He gives you the formulas, he gives you the specs, he gives you the how-tos, and you get to really cut down on that learning curve. And that's what I got out of yours that day was there's a room full of people that day. And I was so impressed with I Learned X. Give them your email one more time.
Roger@whitestone.investments.
All right, you want to stick around now because questions@scotferrell.com. or you can text us at 706-889-9700. I'm going to put Roger on the hot seat. All right, he's been through Walk Through the Bible. He's established the Christian Learning Center in Northern Georgia. He's been a pastor in the pulpit, but he's never had the pressure of an 8-year-old over top of him with their questions. And now he's going under the microscope to hit the 8-year-old mailbag, and let's see what he's got. If you want to put bets on whether he can answer them or not, give me a text, 706-889-9700. Any questions? If you can't reach Roger, you can go by my website, scotferrell.com, SCOTFERRELL.com. I'm Scot Ferrell. That's Roger Blankenship. We'll be right back.
Truck Month is back at your new Days Chevrolet in Jasper with savings up to $8,000 off MSRP. Right now, get a roomy new Chevy Equinox for just $23,200, or get Days max discount on a new Silverado Crew Cab, just $31,900, plus instant easy credit with Days Fast Track Credit Center. But these Truck Month savings won't last long. Get to Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where Chevy cars and trucks cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium 1-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Switch and save at Shattenkirk Ford. Find quality pre-owned trucks under $20,000 and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. Shop the best selection of certified pre-owned Fords in the area. Switch today and shop our network of over 500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. We'll even deliver it to you. Plus, every vehicle sold comes with Shattenkirk Customer Care, which offers you extra protection for no extra charge. Make the switch to Shattenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at ShattenkirkFordJasper.com.
Only Pizza Hut delivers 2 medium pizzas any way you want for just $6.99 each. Get any 2 freshly made pizzas with high quality, fresh ingredients and sauce made with California vine ripened tomatoes. Now get your favorite specialty recipes like meat lovers, backyard barbecue chicken, or 5-pepper pepperoni. So you never have to compromise with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty. Anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Welcome back. My guest today is Roger Blankenship, founder and CEO of Whitestone Investments. Now, we're getting back to the mailbag. I've asked Roger to stick around for this segment today because I'm going to put his knowledge to the test. Who's testing him? 8-year-olds. We did a sequence about 6 months ago. I brought in one of my pastor buddies on the radio, and we sat and answered 8-year-old questions. We literally went out and asked 8-year-olds, if you could ask God one thing, or if you could ask your pastor one thing, what would it be? And so we wrote those questions down. We actually did a video series about it. If you want to know, scotferrell.com, SCOTFERRELL.com. All right, you ready? So
I guess.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Roger a question. Since he's the head theology guy here, he's been ordained longer than I have, and he worked for Walk for the Bible, then I'll do a behavioral sequence. But if Roger does the question right, I don't have to say anything. I just have to ask him. All right, number one.
That's what we'll have an indication whether I got it right then.
There you go. All right, 8-year-olds, these were the questions that they asked, and this was so entertaining. The original sequence was 15 questions. So I lined my buddy up, and I just asked them to him. I mean, he couldn't prep. You haven't prepped either.
Nope.
All right. Do our pets go to heaven with us?
Heaven is going to be the most wonderful thing you can ever imagine. And if your pets are important to you there, am I talking to the kid or you?
Doesn't matter. The kids asked the question. You can talk to me. The camera, or you can talk to me. It doesn't matter. What makes you feel better?
The answer is I don't know. I'm just being honest. But I do know that whatever you find in heaven, it'll be the best thing you can. It's better than anything you can ever imagine.
Yeah, this was the funny one. That was the number one question we got asked.
That's interesting.
Will my
I've
pet
actually
be in
wondered
heaven
that
with me?
many times myself.
Here's what I've seen from the Bible in my scan, and I started asking pastors. And number one answer I got from pastors, and my pastor, Alan DiDio, was there are animals in heaven. It won't necessarily be ours because they don't have a soul. We have a soul, they don't. But heaven is, just like you said, such a wonderful place. It will be absolutely wonderful either way. All right, you ready for the next question?
Sure.
All right, why is the sky blue?
That's interesting.
These are real questions we got from 8-year-olds.
Well, the answer to that question is not theology; it's science.
Yes.
There's because of the makeup of our atmosphere. The light from the sun. Now, I'm not a scientist, so please, scientists who are listening, please forgive my lay understanding of this. But I believe the makeup of our atmosphere filters out. The sunlight has all of the colors of the spectrum, but something in our atmosphere filters out everything except for the blue color. That's kind of a scientific answer. I think that also blue is a nice color that's soothing and makes us happy. And I had to answer this question for my own daughter. And so her conclusion was, so God makes the sky blue because he wants us to be happy. And yeah, okay, that works for me.
I figured he'd have another answer though. You're from Kentucky. Why is the sky blue? He's a Wildcat fan. In North Carolina, me being from North Carolina, the answer is always in church. The reason the sky is blue is because he's a Tar Heel fan. And if you look, the sky is Carolina blue. So
yes.
From my home state, that's it. All right, you ready for the next question?
Sure.
Okay. Where did God come from? I swear, these are real questions.
Oh no, I can believe that.
Those 8-year-olds beat us down.
That's actually really a terrific question, and it's something that everyone wonders about. And because ultimately, if the kid doesn't get some sort of an answer on this, they're going to grow up and come to the conclusion that God is the figment of our imagination,
Yes.
so therefore God came from us. So the answer is difficult to understand, but simple to express. God has no beginning. When Moses asked God to reveal his name, to kind of give him some credibility to go back after 40 years of being away from his people, he asked, what should I say your name is? And God said, my name is Yahweh. And, or he said, I am that I am.
Yeah.
Well, that's Yahweh. What that means is God is, the ever-present is. There's no was, there's no past tense, and the future is not a thing with God. He lives outside of the way we understand time. He just always is. And so in the past, he always is. And that doesn't even make sense in English, but he is always, he's always been there. He has no beginning.
So, great theological answer. And the only other person that answered this way was my pastor when we did this, and I sprung that on him. The great thing is, too, if you're looking for a great book to read, it's called The Physics of Christianity. It's a professor at Tulane, Dr. Frank Tipler, spends about 300 pages answering this question. And if you're familiar with physics or a single entity, that would be the premise behind that, but he always was. All right, you ready for your next question?
Sure.
You sure?
Well, yeah, you know, I could go on. I couldn't go 300 pages. I could go on a little bit more.
Okay. All right. If Jesus is resurrected at Easter, why do we have an Easter bunny? I swear. I swear.
An Easter bunny that distributes chicken eggs. Yeah. It's one of the great mysteries of theology.
It's okay if you say, I don't know.
The Easter bunny really has nothing to do with the Christian celebration of the resurrection. And, you know, I don't want to disappoint children at all. But the answer is, from theological perspective, the Easter bunny and the chicken eggs don't really have anything to do with Jesus rising from the dead. Those traditions were kind of borrowed from pagan traditions of other cultures as the Christian church began to spread. But we're not going to talk about syncretism with 8-year-olds. So we're just going to say the bunny is harmless, chicken eggs are tasty, and so enjoy all that if you want to. But the important thing about Easter is Jesus rose from the dead, and probably it should be more connected with the Jewish Passover, which with more time I would teach that.
Here was my answer. Hey kid, get a marketing degree. Okay, don't fight it. If people want to sell eggs and bunnies and chocolate and everything else, start your own company distributing these things to people and make a couple of bucks off of them. Hey, I did. All right. If you want to get in on this, it's 706-889-9700 or questions at scotferrell.com. All right, you want another one? Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Okay.
As ready as I've been for any of them.
Does Jesus really love me?
That answer I know, and without doubt, without hesitation, and without any consideration for any other circumstance at all. Yes, Jesus loves you. He loved you, he loves you, he will love you, he always has. And the cool thing, since God, we've already established God has no beginning, he's loved you since before time began, since before you were born. He knew that you were going to be, and he loved you then. He knows every bad thing that you've ever done, he loves you anyway. He knows all the stuff that you're gonna do, and he loves you anyway. I'm amazed that he loves me, but he does.
I looked at the kid and said, what, you didn't hear the song? Yes, Jesus loves me. Hey, go listen to a song. It says it right there. What's wrong with you, kid? All right, let me get to one more. I want to make sure I get this one. Was Jesus really born in a manger, and why did he have all those people around him?
Okay. Jesus wasn't born in the manger, you know, but he evidently spent a little time in a manger after he was born. And it was a stable, probably. It may have been in a cave. It may have been a place of shelter. But they were basically camping. And the traditional scene that we have with the 3 wise men and all that, you know, that's based on tradition. It's not necessarily based on everything that happened. There were probably many wise men, but they brought 3 different gifts. That's why it kind of got boiled down to 3. And we don't know that the wise men were there the night Jesus was born. The shepherds were there probably shortly afterwards, but it may have been a year or more before the wise men got there, because they came from a long way away. And so those, you know, the manger scene is nice because it reminds us of the things that were witness to Jesus' birth, but probably they all didn't gather around the night he was born.
Okay. I've gotten this, and I asked numerous pastors. I've gotten the same description from so many pastors. And when the kid asked us this, we were writing them down on cards. We just busted out laughing because it's just like a place in Kentucky, Christian Museum in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, the Creation Museum up there by
Creation
Cincinnati.
Museum now has a full-size ark.
Yes, I've heard.
And the 8-year-old questions is always about the ark. How did God get all the animals on the ark? So I'll let you take it. But how did he get all the animals on the ark?
Well, Man, we don't really have time for an answer to that. But what I would tell the kid is, I'm not sure the animals were wild at that point.
All right.
I think that all animals were basically domesticated. What animals were on the ark, I'm not sure. I don't think I really have the whole dinosaur thing honestly reconciled in my own mind. Right. I've read a lot of conflicting stuff, and there are enough good minds on either side of that for me to conclude, I don't know. And I'm comfortable saying I don't know about that.
And I can give you a resource, and this is always this case. I've been with on both sides, and this is and again, this is a question I can answer to, but it takes forever. Website, reasons.org, reasons.org. Mm-hmm. They devote quite a bit of time answering this question. Also, Creation Museum is another outlet for you for that question, because that question deserves an answer. Why? Because it is in the Bible, and it is historical fact. We found the evidence to the ark. And now the cool thing is at Creation Museum, they've actually built an ark to scale. Yeah. And the premise is too, was we still had dominion over the animals at that time, and they were not wild. Now, if you go see that crazy movie that Russell Crowe's in.
That's one of the worst movies ever made.
It's not even close to being theologically sound.
It's not even an interesting story.
No, it's not.
I'm embarrassed for Russell Crowe's career because of that.
So we are going to go to the Creation Museum and see the ark. I've got to see this thing. And I've gotten to meet those guys and great guys. And if you get a chance, reasons.org, it's very rewarding. Dr. Ross is one of the #1 astrophysicist in the world, was an atheist, turned Christian, as I was an atheist, and I've gone over to the other side. All right, I want to thank Roger for being on my show today. Roger, tell them how they can get in touch with you one more time.
Roger at Whitestone.Investments.
Roger's been so sweet. Don't worry, Roger's going to be a regular. From now on, though, I'm not going to hit him with the 8-year-old questions of theology.
Oh, that's okay. That's kind of fun.
It'll be real estate from here on out. Tomorrow, you want to tune in. Jonathan Loudermilk's going to stop by a studio with me. Why is that so significant? Well, if you've ever wanted to have your child play Division I in the NFL, or if you're our age and just want to get in shape, Jonathan is one of the #1 sports trainers in the United States. Excuse me. 180 Sports Performance. You don't want to miss that show. Wednesday, I got coming up Randy Sutton. If you've seen the movie Casino, The Godfather, you'll know Randy. He was also ahead of the Rodney King uproar out in Las Vegas. Don't want to miss that. I'm Scot Ferrell. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Go by Facebook, like us. Hit our website, scotferrell.com. Until tomorrow, take care.